All right. First of all, thanks everybody for getting things in order. The proposals are pretty much set to go. The only reason we're not hitting the submit button today is because NSF wants collaborative proposals to be all be submitted within a 24 to 48 hour time frame. And so the sponsored research office person at St. Mary's won't be back in the office until Monday. And so that means we submit on Monday. In the meantime, I think things are in pretty good shape. When
Wow.
my latest printout of the document is Fastlane print 13, which means I've printed this things up 13 times. It's 175 pages. And it reads well. It has good stuff. We've got a good plan. We've got a good team. And you never know how these things will play when they go out for review. But
Do we need
our
to
best.
have a plan? Do we need to have a plan to like have our grants officer hit submit button on Monday too? Or
Yes, yes, yeah. And I will.
and someone will send from our IT, someone will say, hey, everybody hit your submit button, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going to be on the road. So Herbert, go ahead.
yeah. So I'll be around, and hopefully Maria Cortez will be around. And so, assuming nothing has gone wrong, I intend to do the release sponsored research office push on Monday morning, and then send an email to everyone else telling them do the same thing and have your sponsored research office then do the submit. Hopefully that will be quick, painless, etc. However, the NSF recommendation is don't do it last minute. So we're going to do it Monday morning. If we're lucky, it'll be done by noon on Monday. If we are unlucky, we will be chasing loose ends all the way to Wednesday.
So here's kind of a silly question, but just because looking at it, when I'm looking at Fastlane and I see everything but the actual proposal. So I don't have to put in the actual proposal description. Is that correct?
You don't put it in, but you can see it. Go to the
Once
print
it's
menu and do print entire proposal.
go to the print menu. Oh yeah, okay. So it already lives in the
If you do
print entire proposal.
you should
Okay.
get a PDF of everybody's.
Okay, so that lives there because Maria probably put them because they got tied together.
Those links.
Right.
You
You
gave
linked
the
them.
pin?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Now, in fact, Maria sent me an email saying that I could call her anytime. I'm going to actually call her right now and bring her in on the speakerphone and to see if she has anything to add. So give me just a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Maria speaking.
Hi, Maria. Paul Craig here.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. I'm actually in blue jeans with 7 of the people from the team,
Okay.
and I think we're in pretty good shape.
Okay.
What we're thinking at this point is there's a couple of loose ends. One is the question about whether this is a renewal proposal or not.
Right.
Some people have one opinion, some people have another. I don't know that it really matters at this point. But I sent a note to
Program officer?
yeah, I sent a note to Tom Higgins, and
That's a good idea.
and I have not heard back from Tom yet. But if I do, I will inform everybody. If he says it's not a renewal proposal, then we all need then just RIT and St. Mary's need to go in and uncheck the box that says this is a renewal proposal.
Okay.
If Tom says it is a renewal proposal, I'll send out specific instructions to everybody about how to do that.
Okay.
All you need to do is check a box on Fastlane and include the number of your current grant. So that's the one for your own home institution. If that doesn't happen, I still think they'll be able to get us together because we're all linked in the system. So it shouldn't be a problem either way.
everybody have their previous award number handy.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and in fact, if you don't know what your previous award number is, if you go on Fastlane and select Print Full Proposal, and you go to the start of the project description under results from prior support, the first thing that's listed there is this project with the grant number on every campus. And in fact, I'm going to pull it up and paste it in right now.
Paul, it should also come up as a choice in the drop-down box.
Okay.
But because some PIs may have several proposals,
Right.
it would be good to know what that number is.
Which one it is, right. It looks like they all start with 1503. Oh, no, 150. Some's a 2, some have a 2 as the next digit, some have a 3. But I put it in the chat window, and in fact, I'm going to send it out to the group. All right, the stuff is all in an email that should be in your inbox. So, yeah, be ready with that. I don't know if it'll matter or not, but if it does, let's get it in there right. Other than that, been going through the proposal. Thanks for everybody's comments on things, and it really looks strong to me. So, of course, that's us looking at our own stuff. But we've got, we've got a nice story. One of the things I love about this proposal is if you look under prior results from prior support, we list something like 8 presentations at national conferences and 8 publications. So that's the language that program officers like to read, because they can check that off and say that they funded a project that's actually doing something. We thought about going through the torturous process of having everybody convert your bio sketch to Arial 10-point font with the same margins, or they all have the same margins, but with the same exact layout and numbering, and decided that that was overkill at this point, and too much pain. And anything else that we need to talk about from your end, Maria?
No, I know that we're trying to coordinate submission, but I think as long as we're within 24 to 48 hours, we should be okay. I'm going to send out an email when we're ready on Monday morning, unless, Paul, you think that we'd be ready sooner than that, but I think Monday morning should be okay. To all of the my colleagues, the sponsored research offices, to let them know that we will be submitting, and that should then trigger them to also submit if everyone else is ready. And I think that everybody pretty much is.
Yeah.
If
nothing blows up, I intend to release it to you, Maria, Sunday night. That doesn't mean that we should then accelerate something. That's just to have it waiting for you Monday morning.
Okay.
That was Herbert.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I think we're ready to go in that sense. We have, as I mentioned, we're not trying to submit today. because the folks at St. Mary's, the sponsor research office person there is not available today, but she will be on Monday. And other than that, that's pretty much it in terms of what needs to happen on the proposal. Let's talk for any other proposal questions. Doesn't seem like it. So Maria, thanks very much for your help.
You're welcome, and we'll chat again on Monday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
And you've got all the contact information for Herbert, right?
Yes.
Okay, terrific.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So let's talk. The next thing in my mind is the ASBMB meeting or in Chicago or other meetings where people are going to present. I know that I'm planning to attend the ASBMB meeting. Hopefully Jeff will be able to go there as well. At least that's the plan at this point. Other people are going to now. Mike, you said you'd be there, right?
Yes, for sure.
Other folks could be there.
Rebecca's going from Ursina.
I'm sorry, this is Rebecca. I had a student walk in right when you are all talking. What's the question?
Who is going to the ASBMB meeting in Chicago in April?
I am.
Okay.
When are those due, those abstracts?
I think the 17th.
Okay, so
17th of November.
Okay, good.
Right. So let's talk about what we want to present there. Because what would be great is if we could have our posters in one area. I think there probably will be anyway. I haven't looked at the submission site. I'm going to bring it up right now so that we can talk about what subdivision we want to submit under. Now, I have not heard from anybody. Nobody has approached me about giving a talk. Has anybody else been invited to talk?
I haven't heard, but I don't know if you guys realize that whole conference is in a little bit of a tiz, right? Because the location got rescheduled, and it had been a little bit of that wasn't going to be in Chicago until about a year ago, and then somebody wherever it was going to be bailed on them. And then there are some Natalie Ahn, who's the society president now, and she's really wonderful. She's really involved and really interested. Sort of wanted to do things a little bit different from those kind of ongoing concurrent symposia that they always did. So we want to find the education and professional development one. If you guys all have your thing, we want to find that one and look for suitable sessions. But they are going a little bit different, where she was talking about trying to kind of cluster them or something. It was a good idea I remember thinking at the time it was a good idea. I don't remember specifically what was changing, but if we haven't heard specifically from organizers, that could be why.
All right. So I have the submit an abstract invitation page up, and the ASB Education and Professional Development part here. And so looking at the different topics that are available, can everybody read what I'm showing here?
Yep.
Okay, so what topics should we be thinking about here?
2316.
2316.
So either that one or 2314, which is laboratory courses.
Right.
Or I guess 2322, undergrad education generally.
I mean, we if we all put down laboratory courses, I'm sure we'd all end up there.
Right.
I do like the 2316.
It's a little bit sexier of a title, but
I agree.
And likely to attract more of an audience. People
Think
like
so.
tools.
Yeah. Other thoughts from other people?
My only thought is that you send an email with the final decision so that I know what I'm doing.
Oh, an action plan person. Okay, let me.
Yeah, that's kind of where my life is right now.
All right, I appreciate that.
and maybe let me find out who's chairing those different sessions, just because then we'll know, whom we might, if there's one person we feel we can call and access a little bit.
Can you find that out now, or are you going to have to talk to people?
I will have to ask, but I'm sure I can find out quickly. But it won't be in 5 minutes. It will be
Okay.
like Monday.
Hi, this is Suzanne. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I don't think I'm going to go. However, Kevin and Jake that did stuff for the lab last spring, they want to go and present. And so I'll need to talk to you, Paul, about what would be the best slot for them. I'm thinking more for the undergraduate one where they basically do proteins, nucleic acids, cell. There's like no educational slot. And they were sort of doing the more exploratory development phase. So they're going to go and present. Um, and so we'll need to talk about exactly what they should do.
Well, I mean, clearly they'll be able to present at the undergraduate, the undergraduate poacher competition. But I would think, I mean, if we had different people talking about the learning tools, and the students were talking about how they actually use them in the course as students in the course, I think that'd be a fantastic thing as part of that whole suite.
So they should also pick whatever, like, so if it's laboratory, so if it's 2314 or 2316, whatever everybody picks, they should pick two.
Yeah.
Okay.
2316. Hopefully by next Monday, we'll be able to, I put in the note here, Mike, that you're going to track down who's going to be the host for that session and see if it's the best choice for us.
There is a little bit less. Let's see. I'm just looking as far as what if you go, Paul, if you navigate back to the the meeting program and then go to the tab that says educators. Yeah, and then you see up on the left there under meetings in red. Wait a minute, go back there. Yeah, so go annual meeting. And
Okay, I'm at the annual
then
meeting.
if you go
There's a
to,
program.
wait a minute,
Oh, educators. I see it.
meetings, annual meeting. Yep, and then that educators tab there.
Right.
And that's the actual sessions. So it is a little bit, it's a little bit different, and there are fewer of them.
Right.
The one group is doing is that immigration and visa.
Mm-hmm.
I know they really wanted to do that, and I think that makes sense. But other than those oral sessions, the platform sessions that's kind of all there is.
Right. All right.
So I guess there would be that Monday session. I don't know who's doing that one.
Right.
And then the
But
student chapter one. And then the student chapter one is that tenure, so that's not really relevant.
right. And right. So the Monday morning one, a 21st century approach to STEM teaching and research mentoring, it would be a stretch for us to squeeze in there somewhere.
Yeah. And I don't even does anybody know any of those folks? I don't know any of them.
No, I don't. I mean, I know. I mean, some of the people in the 2:45 panel on Monday. I know Anna Guano and Tisha Baird.
Yeah.
Right. So it looks like we're going to be strictly limited to posters this time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. That's fine. I'm pleased to say, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a picture in the upper left-hand corner of a student talking with a faculty member or something like that. That's one of ours. Are you looking at this, Suzanne, Jeff? She's a student. I think she was from Peru that came to RIT. So anyway, nice thing for us.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was going to tell everybody that's Alejandra. She did research with me a couple of years ago. And
Yeah.
you're right.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Just a great point.
She's been on there for like several years now, which I think is really funny.
Well, she's so engaged and so beautiful. It's really fun.
Yeah, she looks good. Very attractive.
Yeah.
She was a
All right.
pleasure to have in the lab.
So let's go ahead with that 2316 and by next Friday, let's have our abstracts ready to share with each other. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what we'll probably do is, I mean, our standard approach is to list everybody who's at the meeting on the abstract, and we'll do that. Once the dust settles, we get the abstract submitted, and we get the grant proposal in. I'm going to be back at the manuscript I was working on about the transition to a cure, and hopefully we'll have a better draft of that to share with everybody within 2 weeks. So I'm going to have some airplane time coming up, and I plan to be writing that on the airplane. Actually, I plan to be reading the notes that each of you made as you instructed, as you taught that lab, because many of you made like weekly reports, and I think I have them from some of you. If you made notes last year that you did not post to the Google Docs site, please do so. If I go into that site, I'm trying to remember where we had people depositing that stuff. It was under assessment. I don't know if that's it. I know that I found them recently and I downloaded them. It doesn't look like that's the place where, well, let's see. I know, Suzanne, you posted some. So these are the students' notebooks.
I'll look for mine because I did post my own stuff too. I'm almost positive.
Right. I know you did. I don't really look there. That's not it. Well, I'm not having any luck, so I'm not going to waste any more people's time trying to find that. But I will look, and once I get that, I'll send notes out saying I have comments from these folks. And if you have comments you have not posted yet from last year, please do so. Any other thoughts or concerns today?
Uh, can I ask, this is Anya, can I ask real quick about the ASBMB? The program that's posted has some space for workshops, but it's not clear what they are, right? I'm just wondering if we should try to do a workshop on implementing Cure and kind of aligning kind of education, undergraduate education to their framework of, like, the ASBMB has that framework for how to teach students, right? The concept-driven teaching.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there a couple of years ago, they had some nice workshops on kind of different practices. And the only person I recognize on the list, and again, I'm not going, but I think Cheryl Bailey is the head of the education committee or something. I
Right.
was a roommate with her at some point in some meeting. I mean, we could probably email and ask, or I could email and ask her, but like CC Paul, is there room to propose a workshop on implementing Cure? And maybe there'll be other people submitting abstracts that show their Cure's implementation for this kind of education. It would be nice to do a session on Cure and kind of
That,
aligning
that's
to the framework, the concept framework that ASBMB developed.
that's a fantastic idea, Anya. And my experience in the past is when I've proposed things like this, it's taken an extra year to get it in. But if we
Yeah, I was
propose
going
it
to
now,
say,
maybe in 2018.
to do that, 2018 would be the right. Yeah, what Paul said is I would concur with that.
Okay.
But go ahead and reach out, Anya. Tell her what we're up to and that this is something we'd like to do.
All right. So if not this year, like maybe one of the subsequent years, right? Because
Yes,
but on the
absolutely.
meeting program, it looks like there is workshops listed, right? But they're probably going to be put together out of abstracts. I know I've given a talk there when I submitted for either talk or on education, either talk or poster. They put it into some sort of workshop to where it ended up being a talk anyways, even though it wasn't obvious that there'll be a workshop like that.
Okay. Yeah, look into that.
All right, but since I'm not going, I sort of feel a little weird, doing it. What I can do is probably email Cheryl Bailey and ask her if there's anything planned for it, and kind of CC Paul probably on that, right? And then you can
That
take
sounds
from there.
That would be great. Maybe you could just say, we're doing this project together. Let me introduce Paul Craig and go from there.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure
All
I've met
right.
Cheryl at the meetings, but I don't have a face to attach to the room right now.
I think she used to be in Nebraska, like Lincoln, Nebraska is what I'm thinking. And now she looks like she's somewhere else.
Okay.
She's at it's Marquette. No, anyway, somewhere in Wisconsin.
Oh.
All right. Good. Well, thanks for bringing it up, Anya.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess at this point, what I'll say is keep your eyes open for anything that has to be done on the grant. So, I'd say check at noon on Monday to see if there are any things that are going slightly awry that need to be corrected. I hope there won't be, but better to be prepared. Okay, so do be checking in, and we'll see what happens.
So, a question. I just got an email from my grants guy. He said that he did the check. We have no errors on our sinus's end. So should I just then suggest to him that Monday afternoon he hit submit?
Tell him to wait, and Herbert will send out an email to everybody.
Okay.
On Monday morning. Okay, so
on Monday morning, because I'm not going to have access to email after 12 o'clock on Monday. I'm teaching and in meetings.
Okay.
I'll be starting in the morning. It's just I don't want to jump the gun and say everything's going to be all right Monday morning right now.
Okay.
It's very light. The plan is that the ball will start rolling Monday morning Eastern time, and we are trying to complete it within 48 hours of that start.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, but if anything goes wrong, contact me. You should have enough phone numbers for me to be able to make me ring from 3 numbers simultaneously.
If we're good with the grant, I did have one thing I just noticed about the Chicago meeting. Maybe can I grab the screen share a minute?
Go ahead. Am I sharing? I'm not. Go ahead.
Okay. So again, like Anya was saying, they would pick. It used to be that you would submit your abstract to a certain session and get picked for one of the above. Now, I just was noticing in the poster. So how did I get here? In the abstract submission up here, so this is the new thing that Natalie Ahn is sort of calling them spotlight sessions now. And we may have a shot with this one on catalysis and enzyme mechanism.
Okay.
So I mean, the education is not a topic here. I don't know any of these folks. So David Bohr, Jennifer Dubois, and Lana Sala. I don't know any of those folks, but if anybody does, that might be worth tracking one of those folks down. Looking up here, if you guys can see where my cursor is at, it says fair game is across all ASBMB topic categories, and that includes those ones we were talking about. So those are in the pool. If we want to try to shoot for
more focused on actual mechanisms and like doing some isotope effects and things like that. I'm not sure they'll be.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah, right. Like when I've gone to those, it was really focused on like how exactly does this enzyme do this thing. We might be a little bit more broad. They've got to have education somewhere. It just seems like it's not listed.
Well, it seems like it's not one of those spotlight sessions.
Right.
But I think it might be good to even push back a little bit and say, hey, listen, guys, if you're cutting us out of the oral platforms, include us somehow.
Right, that's true.
Okay. Rebecca, Mike, if you could stop sharing.
Yes. Do I have to do that? You can't just kick me out of here. There we go.
I probably can, but I hate to be so forceful and blunt.
We're used to it.
All right, Rebecca, I want to show you something.
Okay.
Can you see it?
What have
This
you
is your
done to me,
project
my
data
dear?
sheet. What's that?
You've made me project director?
No.
What am I looking at?
Tag.
You're
Tag,
looking.
you're it.
You're
That's
looking.
right.
You're looking right here. So the program tracked is now correct.
Oh, good. Yay. Okay, great.
So that page is all good to go, which I'm assuming means also that this page, which I should be, this page is good to go. Everything's there. And you're actually in as a renewal with your project number, which is great.
Yep.
All right. Well done. Issue resolved. Okay. Well. All right. So I guess we'll sign off here. And at some point, when I was a high school student, my French teacher would always say that one day we will all meet beneath the Arc de Triomphe in the Champs-Élysées to celebrate our life together in 30 years or something like that. Hopefully it'll be less time than that when we'll actually all be together in the same place at the same time. If this gets funded, hopefully 2 years from now at the ASBMB meeting or some other meeting we select, maybe an ACS meeting, we're all in the same place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
That would
All right.
fit very well with running a workshop there.
That is true.
In fact, it would.
Okay, we should
So-
all try and do that.
So we should actually actively lobby for this, and I will once you put me in connection with Cheryl, Anya, I will come forward with a suggestion and see what she's interested. See if there's interest in that in the society.
Yeah. All right. I will
All right.
try in the next 10 minutes to compose something and send it
Thanks,
out.
Anya.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, folks.
Have a good weekend,
Fingers crossed.
everybody.
You too.
All have a good trip.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye for
See
now.
ya.